Greetings, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video we will be looking at polyrhythms, what they are, how to figure them out, what they look like in a piece of music on a page in musical notation, and how to get them absolutely precise so that it's not just this maybe fit everything in, but get it just absolutely on the money. That is what we're going to be talking about today. If you enjoy this, please subscribe and let's talk polyrhythms. So first off, what does this even mean? Polyrhythm. Sounds like an industrial cleaner. So what it is more than one rhythm happening at the same time. So in the same amount of time. So we can have three notes that happen in the exact same amount of time as two notes. So the amount of time, each of the notes are even, but we have 3 and 2 happening at the exact same time. We could also have any numbers. We could have 2 and 5. We could have 3 and 4, we could have 5 and 7, 7 and 11. Anything you can possibly dream up, you can have that many notes happening at the same time as that many other notes. And this is called a polyrhythm. Poly means many, so many rhythms. So this is how you may see a polyrhythm on a piece of music. We have 3 on the top, 3 quarter notes. This would be in a bar of 2/4 right here. And so then we have 2 beats on the bottom, and then we have these quarter note triplets over the top in the same amount of time. So we have 3 on the top and then 2 on the bottom. You could also see the exact same thing with eighth notes, triplet eighth notes on the top, 2 eighth notes on the bottom. So then what is the answer? How do we do this? So I'm going to give you the long version, the precise, accurate version, and then I'm going to give you the cheat version of this as well. And then we'll do 3/2, 2/3, and we'll also do 3/4 or 4/3 in this video. But you can use this same method to do anything that you would like. So how do we figure this out so that we place these notes in exactly the right time? Well, what we do is we find the common denominator, flashing back to 9th grade math class here. We find the common denominator of the two. So we have 3 and 2, the common denominator is 6. So then we would make each of these into 6. So then we'll put eighth notes on the top, and then we'll put triplets on the bottom like this. And so what we end up with is this. So then we have eighth notes on the top, triplets on the bottom, and all the eighth notes now are lined up. And then we can look at where do each note fall. So then where does this one fall? Together. And then so we can just count, if we'd like to, we can count 6 for this, or 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 triplet, 2 triplet, however we want to, depending on what the original meter is. But we can look at that, then we have the top, then the bottom, then the top again. So then if we count this, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and then this is for the other side. So 1 and 2 and 3 and our notes fall on 1, 2, and 3. And so then we have the different hands that we do for that. So whenever you're doing polyrhythms, the first thing you want to do is to take it out of one hand and put it into 2 hands. So instead of doing it all in your fingers, figuring it out, put down your guitar and just clap or tap the rhythm. So now we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So right together, right, left, right would be the way. And then with that, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And so once you know that it's 1, 2, and 3, then you can put it into that, and you know exactly where the and of 2 is, where the quarter note would be falling, and so you can work that. The other way would be underneath it, which would be triplet, triplet. So triplet, triplet. And you can figure out where is that. It's on the let, and then the downbeat, and then the second triplet of the second pair. So you can figure out exactly where it falls, know how to count it, and then do it with both hands. Now in your practice, what you can do is bring out one hand so that you can hear it. So we have 1, 2, and 3, or you can change the tone. So now we have the 3 happening, and then the 2 happening. So that each one brings out, and you can feel comfortable with both of them. Now when you're first starting this, if you see it in a piece of music, especially if it's in this eighth note example, you're just going to go to the next smallest subdivision. In this case, it would be 16ths, but it's the exact same thing. Once you do that, do it really slowly so that you can get it very precise and then speed up. That's the answer. It doesn't matter if it's all going to happen in a quarter of a second in your piece. Slow it down, take it away from the piece, over to the workbench, work these out. Once you get them for 1 or 2 pieces, then you've pretty much got them. So 1, 2, and 3 is the kind of the key for this. 1 and 1 and 1 and. Or in triplets, it would be triplet. Triplet, 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 triplet. So you can figure out both ways to do it. But the main thing is that you clap it and you just subdivide it in this way. Now, let's look at another one. Here is 3 over 4. So on the top we have 3, and on the bottom we have 4. So 3 and 4. These are just different ways you'll see it. 3 and 4, 3 and 4. They're all the same. So you really, once you know one, then you know the rest. We're just going to work with this first one because it's easier to look at on the page. In the exact same way, we look at what is the common denominator. The common denominator here between 3 and 4 is 12. And so then we make triplets out of the top, or 16th notes or 8th notes out of the top here, and then triplets in the bottom. And that way we've got the exact same thing that we just did. Then we can look at where do they fall. So then we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and, because we were doing the quarter note or the because we were doing the half note triplets. Or on the bottom we could say 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and then notice where the accents fall within each of those. So then once we do look at that, then we can go through and just say we have 1 trip. I'm just going to do the triplets from the bottom. So we have 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and we can just do the different hands, figure out which ones, and then go with that. Now there's a trick. There's a thing that we used in music school for 4 over 3 or 3 over 4, and that's pass the apple butter. So the conglomerate rhythm of the two is da ba da ba ba da. And that's, we just say pass the apple butter, pass the apple butter, pass the apple butter. And you can just play with it, but I would do it this way first. I would do it the accurate, precise way, the first, to really get it so that you can understand how it all works, so that you can see it when you have 5 over 2 or something, that you can actually figure that out and get it precisely. But then you can just use this trick, and that's pass the apple butter, pass the apple butter. For the 2 over 3, you can say Mississippi, 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 and just have the mi be a little bit long. Mississippi, Mississippi, Mississippi. That's the conglomerate rhythm of the two. If one of them needs to be brought out and the other one back, then it starts getting, it becomes a little bit crazy. And so it's better to actually know what it is that you're playing than just have Mississippi and pass the apple butter. But it's nice to have a little cheat in there as well, if it's easy enough and you just want to, whatever it happens to be that you're doing. So that is how to count polyrhythms. That is how to figure out polyrhythms. Find the common denominator. Put them both, just like I just did right here. Write it out, circle the ones that you need, go slowly, clap them, use different hands on it, and then transfer it into one hand with your thumb and fingers or however it's happening. But that way, and then bring out one hand over another so that you can hear how it's all fitting together, and just count like crazy in your head. Even if you don't know the exact precise way to count and what all the little syllables are and everything, do something. Just go ta, 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 or whatever it happens to be. So that you can keep track of it in your head and it can be reliable when you come back to it instead of just winging it. Although pass the apple butter and Mississippi are kind of winging it techniques. So hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it comes in useful if you're playing something that uses 4 over 3 or 3 over 2 or any other combination. And please subscribe to this channel and we'll do it again. Take care. Bye-bye.